The UFC is in the perfect position to make a Spain pay-per-view in 2026. In today's video, I'm going to be matchmaking an entire Spain pay-per-view going from the early prelim to the main event, every single fight that I think would be good in Spain on a pay-per-view. Before we go ahead and get into the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into this Spain pay-per-view. So one of the big issues for the UFC, the reason there hasn't been a Spain card yet, a Spanish card yet, is because they can't find a venue. I say we just put them in a coliseum in a big bullfighting arena and load it up. Look at how many seats, look at how many spots there could be. This would be a sick event. This would be like a sphere type event in a different kind of atmosphere with a completely different kind of view on the UFC. Imagine just putting an octagon in the middle there. You could have a bunch of people easily fit, 30, 40,000 people. Some of these arenas are really, really big. And they could do it in Alicante, Spain, where Ilia Topuria is from. They could do it in Barcelona. They could do it in Malaga. They could do it in all sorts of different places. Most places in Spain have big arenas like this, coliseums, bullfighting arenas, whatever you want to call them. So I say they do it in a venue like this. Easy, different, really special, makes it something like once in a lifetime type thing like the Sphere. But we're going to get into the card, starting off with the early prelim opener of Veronica Hardy versus Ernesta Carrasquete. I'm trying to be realistic with this card. I'm chucking in a WMMA fight. I'm chucking in some fights that were like, because we're going to be realistic. Not every pay-per-view is going to be stacked. If they do bring a pay-per-view to Spain, it should be pretty stacked, but let's be honest, it's not going to be stacked from early prelim to main event. And I'm not going to be unrealistic on this card. I'm trying to make a realistic pay-per-view for Spain in 2026, something that we can actually get done, UFC. Something that we can be like, holy shit, there's a Spain pay-per-view? That would be sick, right? That would be sick. That's something that a lot of people have been talking about for a while. So we're going to open it up with a WMMA fight. Veronica Hardy is from South America. Ernesta Carrasquete is from Europe. So, bring the two together, put them in Spain. It's not a bad fight, to be honest. It's going to be a little bit of a striking matchup, I think, and it would be fairly okay. As a prelim opener, it's okay. Veronica Hardy's like the prelim opener for UFC 320, so why can't she be the UFC prelim opener for a Spain pay-per-view? I don't see why not. Anyways, we're going to move on, though, to some fights that now they matter. Now some fights are important, some fights that I think are sneaky good, man. And this next one is sneaky good, in my opinion. Brady Hiestand versus Sosa. This guy has just fought in Dana White Contender Series. He just won, got his contract, and I think his debut should be in Spain. He's a Spanish fighter. They got another Spanish fighter. He's at bantamweight. He just fought a super lengthy, tall dude in Dana White Contender Series and bullied him badly and beat him down badly, almost choked him out multiple times. Brady Hiestand is on a bit of a win streak. He hasn't fought in a while. I think a good comeback would be on a pay-per-view like this in Spain against a guy like Sosa, who's very fun, very scrappy. His last fight at Dana White Contender Series was very fun. All of his fights before that have been very fun. And he lost his father making his weight cut for Dana White Contender Series and still fought. He broke down after the fight, but he dominated his opponent. And Brady Hiestand brings a scrap. He knows how to finish fights. He's fun, and he hasn't fought in a while. So put these two together. Spain card, the fans can get behind Sosa, and Brady Hiestand can maybe get himself a win that he hasn't gotten in a long time because he's been on a big layoff. So I think this is a fun fight. I think it's a good fight to make. Put it on the early prelims of this pay-per-view in Spain. We're going to move on to the next fight, though. The next fight that I'm going to put on a pay-per-view here. I'm looking for Spanish fighters. I'm looking for fighters around the area, and one of those being Daniel Barres. Daniel Barres obviously hasn't had the best run in the UFC, but he is Spanish. He's one of the only Spanish fighters on the roster. You got to put him on a Spain card. Even if it's not a pay-per-view, if it's a fight night, you definitely put him. But Daniel Barres on this Spain card against Felipe Bunez. Bunez is a potentially easy matchup for Barres, even though he does have good submissions. I think Barres can win this fight, and it could also help Bunez get back in the win column. This is like two kind of low-level flyweights that both kind of need a win. So I think matching the two up against each other is good, and it's a very winnable fight for Daniel Barres. But Felipe Bunez could spoil the show in front of Spain. It would be a fun fight, fun little scrap in flyweight, and I think it would most likely end inside the distance because Bunez has been KO'd, but he can also sub his opponents, and Barres has been subbed a couple times. So I think this fight would be fun. I think it would be a scrap, and the Spanish crowd can get behind Daniel Barras. They can get behind their guy. That's what we need in a Spain. On a Spain card, we need some Spanish fighters, some fighters from around the area. So Daniel Barras, Felipe Boone. As we move on to the next fight, though, that we got on this Spain pay-per-view, it's going to be Terrence McKinney versus, oh my goodness, I just forgot his name, Nurulo Aliev, I just remembered. This fight, you got to put a lightweight matchup on this fight, and this is on this fight card, and this is a scrap, man. This is a scrap. This is a fight that I was thinking of, and I was like, wait, why is this low-key so funny? This is a funny matchup because Terrence McKinney is be knocked out or knock you out type thing. Nurulo Aliev's never been finished. I'm pretty sure he's still undefeated, and Aliev is not a finisher in his own right. So would this get out of the first round? I don't know. I think it's a funny fight to make. I think it's a fight that's you're like, yo, is this going to make it out the first round? Is Terrence McKinney going to find a finish over this undefeated, like, Tajiki Eagle, whatever? I think that's his nickname or something like that, man. And Aliev, on the other hand, he just decisions everybody for the most part. Besides his Dana White Contender Series debut, he got like a ground and pound TKO. Maybe he could get that on Terrence McKinney, but maybe Terrence McKinney would get out of the first round. I don't know. I think this matchup is funny. It doesn't really have too much to do with the Spain pay-per-view, but putting a lightweight matchup on pay-per-views and a fight on the prelims that people can actually be excited for and get them watching the prelims, because most people might not watch those fights before, but this fight will get, I would watch this fight. I would watch this fight. This will get me on a pay-per-view, early on a pay-per-view to start watching, right? And this will get some people to start watching because Terrence McKinney is kill or be killed. Every single fight he's kill or be killed, and inside the first round. And Nurul Aliev's got a huge fan base, so you're going to get both sides. You're going to get a lot of people watching this fight and get him on the prelim. So this is a good fight to make. And it's a fight where you don't really know who's going to win. I mean, most people are probably going to go Aliev, but Terrence McKinney has pulled off so many upsets. He can find a finish over anybody in the first round in a couple seconds. He can find a choke out of any situation. So this fight is fun, man. This fight's fun. We're going to move on to the next one, though. The next fight on the prelims is going to be Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Irene Aldana. I believe Cavalcanti's booked. I think she's fighting Mayra Bueno Silva soon, but if she wins that fight, I think she should fight Irene Aldana. Aldana has been off on a big leave after that Noche card last year at the Sphere, and she needed it. She had that brutal, disgusting cut over her forehead, or through her forehead, from Norma Dumont. That was a scrap. That was a great fight. I think Irene Aldana should come back, fight Jacqueline Cavalcanti, and Cavalcanti is Portuguese. She's from Portugal, and that's very close to Spain. It's very close to Spain. I know it's not the same country, but you can put the two together. You can put Cavalcanti on this card in Spain, and she'll still have some good fans behind her. This is closest she's going to get to her home crowd kind of thing. She can have family, whatever, come down, have friends come down kind of thing. And, she's basically from the area. I'll say that. She's from the area. Cavalcanti's a pretty good striker. I think she's undefeated in the UFC so far, had some close fights, but she's breaking out. She's getting into the top 10. She beats Mayra Bueno Silva. She'll be in the top 10, and fighting Irene Aldana would be a big step up, but a fun fight, I think. And I think if this is a fight that people could get behind, it's a decent scrap. Irene Aldana always brings a fight, and so does Cavalcanti. So I think this would be a fun striking matchup for 15 minutes. And then if Cavalcanti wins, she just gets boosted up the rankings even more. The UFC can promote her in Spain or in Portugal, whatever they want to do. But I think this is a good matchup to make. We move on to the next fight on the card. Chris Barnett versus Mario Pinto. Come on. No casual is going to make this fight. Chris Barnett versus Mario Pinto. Pinto is from Portugal. I think he's Portuguese as well. I think he's from Portugal as well. And Chris Barnett, sneaky pick, man. He's from Spain. He was born in Spain. He moved to the U.S. when he was young, but he was born in Spain. He's a Spanish fighter, man. Put Chris Barnett on this card, and you got to put him high up on the prelims, because tell me this is not a knockout win fight for either of these guys. This is a guaranteed knockout. I was looking at the heavyweight rankings. There is fucking nobody. There is nobody's in the heavyweight rank. Below the top 15, there is nobody's. Literally, I had no idea who to rank or match up Chris Barnett with. And then I'm like, yo, wait, Mario Pinto is from Portugal. I'm pretty sure he's Portuguese. I'm 99% sure. And Chris Barnett is Spanish. He's going to... Okay, he might not be fully Spanish. He might not speak Spanish, but he will have that logo. He will have that flag pop up when he's walking out, right? He will have that flag pop up when he's walking out. So you got to put him on this card, and you got to put him against Mario Pinto, because one of these dudes is going to sleep. One of these dudes is getting knocked out. This will get eyes on this card. This is a fat heavyweight versus a very long, tall heavyweight. One of these dudes is going down. Guaranteed one of these dudes is going down. It's going to be a fun knockout. Guaranteed. All right, so you got to put this fight on the prelims, but like higher up on the prelims because Chris Barnett's technically Spanish, man. He's technically Spanish. We move on though to the next fight. I think this next one is the main prelim headliner, and this one's a banger. Chris Duncan versus Esteban Ribovic. When I made this matchup, I put these two next to each other. I was like, holy shit, I am such a hardcore. I'm not. But I put these two together. I was like, oh my God, I'm the GOAT, man. I'm the GOAT. How can you not make this matchup? Chris Duncan versus Esteban Ribovic. This is such a good fight to put on this card and such a good prelim headliner, man. This everybody would tune into this. Both these guys got fight in the nights in their last fight. They were both fighting on the same card. They both took decently bad beatings, but gave their opponents worse beatings. Chris Duncan beat the shit out of Rebecki, and Esteban Ribovic beat the shit out of Brenner for 3 rounds. Both of them got fight of the night. Both great fights. Very violent, both these two, and I think this is the perfect matchup to make. This is literally the perfect, not only timeline-wise, but stylistically wise. Chris Duncan, every time he steps into the octagon, he's kill or be killed. He's going for a finish. He's going to hurt you. He's going to try and get you out of there. Same thing with Esteban Ribovic. Ribovic has not had a boring fight yet, at least in his past 3 or 4 fights. Every single one has been fireworks. He knocked out Terrence McKinney. He had a great fight with Daniel Zellhuber, fight of the year, and then he just had that fight. He had that fight with Nasrat Haqparast, fight of the night as well. He's had 3 fight of the nights in a row. Nasrat Haqparast fight was fight of the night, and then his fight against Brenner was fight of the night. So how can you not put these two against each other? Both these guys are fight of the night level fighters, and this is guaranteed to be war. Guaranteed to be an absolute banger. When I was looking at this matchup, I was like, oh my God. I was like, yo, I was getting excited looking at this matchup. This is like one of the better matchups you can make outside the lightweight rankings. And the winner of this gets a shot at the top 15. Why not? It makes sense. It makes so much sense. Winner of this gets a shot at the top 15. I love it. Book it and put it on a Spain pay-per-view or on a Spanish card. This will be great. You know, Ribovic is from Argentina. Chris Duncan is from Scotland. We're trying to get a whole bunch of different countries on this card. A lot of Spanish fighters, but also some fighters from some different places. And this is just a banger fight. This is just one of those fights where the fans are going to be like, holy shit. Everybody's going to be clapping. Put this on a live freaking pay-per-view. Stop putting Esteban Ribovic in the Apex. Stop putting Chris Duncan in the Apex. I'm done with that shit, man. Put these two on a pay-per-view in Spain. Book it right now. We move on, though, to the main card. Opening the main card. This one makes sense to me. I like this matchup. I think this one's fun. I think it's a good fight to open up a main card because it kind of leads you into what's later on in the night after this main card opener. It is going to be Jean Matsumoto versus Alexandre Topuria. I love this matchup. I think this matchup's super fun. Matsumoto has been scrapping his way up. I'm not going to say up the rankings, but he's been doing well. Almost beat Rob Font, had a split decision loss that a lot of people thought he won. He could be ranked right now if he would have gotten that win, but he just had a win in his last one as well. He bounced back. I think this is a good matchup to make. Obviously, you're going to put Alexandre Topuria on this card. He's Georgian, but he is Spanish as well. You got to put these two on this card. Not both. You don't have to put Matsumoto, but you got to put Alexandre, and I think this is a favorable matchup for Topuria, but Matsumoto could pull off an upset in Spain. You never know, and I think it's a good scrap. Good fight to open up the main card, and it's going to get some eyes. You know, just that last name, Topuria, obviously is going to get everybody looking. And Alexandre, we're going to try and build him up, right? We're going to try and build him up. I think he's got a fight booked in a bit. I think he's fighting Bexa Almacan. Might be in Qatar or something, or I think it might be on UFC 321. But anyways, after that fight, I think he should fight Matsumoto in Spain. Would be a good fight, and I think you got to slowly build up Topuria, get him up there, and get him into the bantamweight rankings, or Matsumoto pulls off an upset, and then boom, he's right in the mix. Boom. There you go. Great fight to open up the main card. I think this one's fun. Not a ranked matchup, obviously, but it's a good fight. We move on, though, to a fight that does matter, and a fight that I think is great. I think it's a great fight to put on this card. It makes sense in my eyes, as long as We'll just get into it. Joel Alvarez versus Renato Moicano. Tell me this isn't a good fight, man. This is a great matchup. What I was going to say is Joel Alvarez did talk about moving up to 170. The UFC was like, no, you're staying at 155. So we don't know. But obviously you're going to put Alvarez on this card. He hasn't fought in a minute, but you got to put him on this card. He's Spanish. He's one of the only Spanish fighters on the roster. He's on a decent win streak right now. His only loss in the past, 5 years or something is to Arman Tsarukyan, the #1 ranked contender in the world, right, at lightweight. So you got to put Alvarez on this card, and you got to give him a decent ranked matchup. Give him Renato Moicano. All right, Moicano, if he pulls off this upset, which he definitely could, he'd get on the mic and be like, hey, fuck you, fuck you, Spanish fighters, fuck this and fuck that. Like, it would be funny as fuck if Moicano won this fight and pulled off an upset and got on the mic and just started fucking shit talking all the Spanish fighters. Tell me that wouldn't be so good. That would be so, that's what we need. This is what we need. And if Alvarez smokes Moicano, boom, he's up the rankings. He could be getting a crack at the top 10. And there you go. There you have it. This is a great fight to make. And Alvarez is dangerous. He's fun. Every single one of his fights has ended by finish. Every one that he's won has ended by finish. This guy's violent. He's fun, and he's Spanish. You got to make this fight. I love this fight. I think as long as Alvarez stays at 155, you book this fight on a Spanish pay-per-view. It's money. It's money, literally. Money Moicano. But we move on to the feature fight, which I think is a good feature fight, a good feature bout, one that makes sense in my eyes. And that's going to be Youssef Zalal versus Arnold Allen. I was trying to hit a British accent. I was not good at all. I can't do accents. I can't do voices. But Arnold Allen, we're all Arnolding our Allens, man. We're all Arnolding our Allens, waiting for Allen to come back to make his return. It's been so long. This guy's been taking so much time. Come on, Allen. Come on. Come back, man. But Youssef Zalal, he's fighting Josh Emmett very soon. I think he wins that fight by just skirting around the outside, making it boring. But Youssef Zalal going to jump up the rankings if he does beat Emmett. And then fighting Arnold Allen makes sense. Not to mention that Zalal is from Portugal. He's Portuguese. Put him on this card against Arnold Allen. It's a scrap. It's a great fight. Arnold Allen will make this a scrap. He will not let Youssef Zalal run around the octagon and make it boring. So I can trust Arnold Allen in this one to make it a fun fight, make it a fight that we enjoy. And it's a top 10 ranked matchup here on this pay-per-view, and as a feature fight, I like it. I really think it'll be fun, to be honest. I think Arnold Allen will make this very fun. He's obviously from England. He'll be flying down to Spain, and Zalal's just coming right over. I think he's living in Las Vegas. But anyways, make this fight. This is a great fight. Good matchup. Really fun. Winner of this will get a crack at a title contender shot or something like that, something in the mix, like a #1 contender shot. You never know. We'll see, but we'll see. If Youssef Zalal beats Emmett, then I think this is definitely the fight to make. Book this one on a Spain pay-per-view. Super fun. Really fun fight. And I think Arnold Allen would win it. But it would be a good fight. It would be a good fight. We just want to see Arnold Allen back. I just want to see Arnold Allen come back, man. It's been so long. And him versus Zalal, great matchup. We're going to move on, though. We're going to move on to the final two fights on this pay-per-view. The co-main and the main event. To me, these are no-brainers. I'm just going to be honest. These are no-brainers in my eyes. The co-main event, Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan 2. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. You can hate all you want. Petr Yan deserves that rematch, even though he got 50-45, got absolutely dominated by Merab. He's made adjustments. He's come back a lot. He's on a 3-fight win streak, all by unanimous decision. Not the most fun fights, but he's so technical. He's very entertaining. Everybody loves Petr Yan, right? And Merab's ran through the entire fucking division. He's beat everybody. And he doesn't seem to want to move up or move down or do anything. So if Merab's just going to stay to his division, bully everybody, then he's got to run a rematch with Petr Yan. And I think he's already accepted that rematch with Yan. Yan's called for it. Merab said, all right, I'm going to get through Sandhagen, and then I'll come for you. So, and Merab's on a great streak, man. He's already the bantamweight GOAT, in my opinion. He just beat Sean O'Malley in the rematch by submission. He's adapting some finishing capability. He said he wants to knock out Sandhagen. I don't know, but he wants to finish fights now. He wants to be active. And he's been very active, and I think he can bounce back in 2026, early 2026, and fight Petr Yan and put it on this Spain card, man. Merab's Georgian, but he's brothers. He's basically best friends with Ilia Topuria and Alexandre Topuria. They're all together, and Petr Yan, put him on this card. Excuse me, oh my goodness. Put him on this card against Merab. It's a great fight to make. The rematch, I don't think this should be a main event. I think it should be a co-main because it's a rematch. Petr Yan got dominated in the last one. And Merab, he's doing his thing. He's carrying on the legacy. He's dominating everybody. Well, he's creating a legacy, if anything. But good matchup to make. Obviously, I'm going to be going with Merab in the rematch. He's probably going to dominate Petr Yan again, unless Yan switches some things up. But good fight to make. Put in the co-main event of this Spain card. I think it's fun. I think it makes sense. I think the timeline is right as well. Put this on a Spain card in 2026 on a pay-per-view, obviously. Now, we move on to the main event. This is obviously, you guys know who's in the main event. It's a no-brainer. If you guys don't know, you guys are stupid. I'm joking, but this main event is obvious. It's an obvious one to me. Ilia Topuria versus Arman freaking Tsarukyan, man. Okay? This is the matchup to make. I don't want to hear anything you guys say. I don't want to hear it. All right? I don't want to hear it. Arman should fight for the belt, but he should fight for the belt after he fights one more person. This is the reason this is going to be in 2026 is because Arman will fight somebody else. He will fight Dan Hooker. He will fight Justin Gaethje. He'll fight Paddy Pimblett, fight one of them. I think he beats all three of those guys with relative ease, and then he fights Ilia Topuria in 2026 in Spain, in either Alicante, Spain, where Topuria is from, or not Berlin, what am I saying? Barcelona, somewhere else, big city, whatever the case may be. In Spain, this main event would be amazing. Amazing. It's tough to trust Tsarukyan to not pull out and fuck up a main event that would be this big, but if this main event comes to fruition, we got Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan in Spain on a main event of a pay-per-view in Spain. That would sell so well. It would sell so much. You know, obviously Arman's got a huge fan base. Ilia has a massive fan base, and this is a great main event. I can't pretend like this isn't a great main event. I think Ilia runs through Justin. I think he runs through Paddy. I think he runs through Dan Hooker. I think he runs through Max Holloway again. There is nobody else for Ilia Topuria to fight right now besides Arman Tsarukyan, and I know he shouldn't fight Arman right now because Arman doesn't deserve it for being off for like 500 days or something now that he hasn't fought, and also pulling out against Islam. But give Arman one more fight in 2025, the end of 2025, and then fight in 2026. Ilia already said he might not be fighting in 2025. He might only be fighting in 2026. He deserves the time off, and I think he should come back and fight Arman Tsarukyan after Tsarukyan's fought one of those top contenders, beat them, and then these guys fight in a main event in Spain on a pay-per-view. Spain pay-per-view in 2026, the main event, Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan. It makes sense. I love it. I think it's a great main event. I think it's a great main card and good prelims. Overall, as a Spain pay-per-view, this is pretty solid. I tried to be realistic with this one because let's be honest, the UFC hasn't been making the most stacked pay-per-views anymore. You got to be kind of realistic with these things. So I was realistic with this card. Let me know what you guys thought about my pay-per-view card, my pay-per-view build down below. Who would you guys switch out? What would you guys change on this pay-per-view? But that's the entire video, boys. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you.